Okay, welcome everybody to this evening's webinar with ACY Securities Live Forex Market Review. My name is Duncan Cooper. Before we get going, if you can read through the disclaimer. If you're on our YouTube live stream, I cannot see the chat, so you can watch, but if you ask me questions, I won't see the questions coming in, but just use the link and join us in the webinar, and then you can ask me questions. All right, so everybody just read through the disclaimer. So we're back into trading into the new year. Market's still a little bit, I think, short of orders. It's swinging one way than the other, but the market is operating. So we'll go through the levels that I'm watching today. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Duncan Cooper. I'm the Senior Market Strategist and Trading Mentor here at ACY Securities. And get my PowerPoint to work. I'm a full-time trader. I've been trading the market now for more than 15 years in the Forex market, managing clients for more than 10. If you want to contact me, my email is on screen there. duncan.cooper@acy.com. As well, through the week at our website, acy.com market news tab, you can get me there with my analysis at our YouTube channel, ACY Securities Australia, and you can connect with me on Twitter and LinkedIn if you wish. As well, through the week in our Telegram channel, you can connect with me there. I'm providing analysis. On the weekend, I do a video, look at 6 pairs on the weekend, and then provide analysis through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So if you'd like to get access to that, just contact Nathan. He's on holiday at the moment. I think he's back next week, so I'll put his details in the chat momentarily. As well, if you want to get access to my chart layouts and templates, like on the screen here, then just contact Nathan. He will set that up for you. Any account opening questions too, then he's the man to talk to as well. All right, so what I wanted to do is just give a shout out for the Telegram. Anybody can get access to that, is my understanding as well. Getting access to the webinars, anybody can come along to the webinars, are all free. So if you've got friends or family that may be interested in trading, just invite them along. They either like it or they don't, but it's not going to cost them anything. Maybe it's something they'd be interested in. So open invitation to everybody. Now let's get into just what the news is coming out before we get to the charts. So there's not much today other than 11:15 p.m. we've got the ADP non-farm employment change. Then in tomorrow is the bigger one, tomorrow evening, 11:30 p.m. we've got the Canadian and US job figures. And then at 1 o'clock in the morning, the US ISM services PMI data. So that is what's coming out. The bigger one is obviously the US unemployment figures there. All right, so let's get to the charts, and I'm going to switch between both sets of charts that I use. And what I noticed as I was coming on was the Aussie yen. It's a bit range bound here. This is the day chart look. We're up here at what is monthly resistance over here. Weekly resistance here. So 90.51, 90.82, and 9100. Failed there last week. This week we couldn't quite get there. We failed at weekly resistance. Today we're testing monthly resistance. So 4 hour here is still in an uptrend, but are we just going to hold in a range here? Can you see maybe a failure in this area today? At the moment on that rally back up, we're at the 62% level. Okay, which coincides with the monthly resistance. If you like that as a failure area, you may well see a trend line break MACD cross occurring to give you a trigger to get in. All right, so is it failing at monthly resistance today to move back down? Move back down to the bottom of the range. Is it going to stay range bound over the next week? All right, so that could well be fading there. All right, I'm going to jump back to my other charts. I want to start on the dollar index and put this area in last year. We're still holding here on top of monthly support. Are we going to hold there and come back up to challenge the high of last year? Weekly trend, well, we're having a week up. Weekly trend is actually down here at the moment, but are we on support here, holding for the next leg up? The day chart has actually put in a higher top. So we may well be forming a higher bottom at some point, and that would then obviously get the market excited about the US dollar going up. But all these sideways action just because of the holiday season. Large traders maybe are still on holiday. They're not back into the full throw of the market at the moment. All right, so we all need to bear that in mind. But we're definitely at a key level where we could be getting support to move up. All right, and S&P 500 is showing the same kind of sideways price action here at the moment. So we need to see a clear direction starting to form over the next week. That dollar index, though, is looking like it maybe is offering support there. So, and if I go to my other charts with MACD on, MACD here is kind of showing positive divergence here. MACD's crossed up, starting to separate a bit, moving up to a higher top. So are we putting in a long-term bottom there? Okay. All right, I'm just going to go from the left-hand side across. I've already covered the Aussie yen. And I'm going to go to my other charts. Aussie dollar now. Now, we did have a very good sell-off Tuesday. Came all the way back up Wednesday. In last night's webinar, I was talking about 79% level up here, which I'll put it on in a moment. But at the moment, we're very much struggling up at the high end here at what is weekly resistance 68.28 today. Daily resistance yesterday at 68.51 and 68.93. So 69 or ahead of 69 is definitely where the sellers are. You can't go back up there and sell it today. Maybe you sold it there yesterday. But put in our Telegram today. This is the monthly range. It's 4-hour chart. I discussed, we moved above the 79% level yesterday, and I said maybe we would fall back below it and it become resistance to move down, which it has been today. So I was looking up at the 79 level, up to 68.51 to sell, and we did come back up to 79. So earlier in the day, it did offer you an opportunity to start to get short through here. And it may still pop back up into this area. Really, this whole area here is offering resistance. So popping back up into that area, can you see your setup to sell? That could well be a very good area to get short for the move that back down. On the other side of the coin, we are getting support at the moment at 68. So if 68 can't break and you're much more on the buyer side, watch 68 to be support. But if you're on the seller side, you want 68 to break down. All right, I'm favoring the downside just because of the monthly and weekly range. We're up at the 62 to 79% retracement area here. So I'm looking for this area to be a failure to move down. But you might be more on the buyer side. So buyer side at the moment, 68 may offer support today if you're on the buying side. All right, so that's the Aussie. Euro yen. Now, there is the possibility, if we go to the weekly chart here, there is the possibility of a double bottom down there. I said this last year that whilst some of the yen pairs are maybe forming a downtrend, this monthly chart here, still high tops and bottoms. And that pullback is in between 62 to 79, almost got down to 79. So is that actually a bottom coming in to move up? Right now, yes, the weekly trend is down. So this is where it can get difficult. Weekly's down, monthly's up. Is the weekly going to remain down and change that monthly trend over time or not? That's where the difficulty can be at times when you're looking at charts. But if you're trading levels, then you know this level is clearly offering support. This area here, 140.75. This 140.104 level is an old monthly area here that could be offering resistance this month. So we're back up to bouncing up from supports. Is this resistance area 140.75 from here Monthly resistance at 141.04, so pretty much 140.100 is that area offering resistance. Day chart there is lower tops and bottoms. That looks like a 62% retracement as well. There you go, pretty much at it right now. So this is a very nice area to look for a reversal. 4 hours just withdrawing a little bit off that area. So can you see a setup on your 15-minute chart that you like to sell? The day trend is down, the weekly trend is down. The only thing that's not agreeing is the monthly. So if you can get a tight entry, this is a good area to look for an opportunity to trade down from. Just look for your setup. Do you see a trend line break, swing point break? Or if you want to be a bit more loose with your stop, you could be selling here with a 100 pip stop. And as long as that area holds, now even if you traded here with a 100 pip stop, moving back down to test weekly supports, there's nearly 350 pips there, so a risk reward of about 1 to 3 at least. So there's more than a few ways to trade from that area if you like the area as a level. All right, that's a good level. Now, if we do move down over the next week, or before I do more analysis with you guys and girls, this area down here at 137.31 is obviously offering support. So if we revisited that level and we can't move through, expect a reversal back up. All right, euro dollar. Now, euro dollar is starting to form a downtrend here on the day chart. And Edwin, you talked to me yesterday about getting up at the 79% level. Doesn't look like it's getting there at the moment, but it could. You know, got job figures tomorrow. We could still get up higher. So the levels I'm watching here, got monthly resistance at 106.35, weekly resistance at 106.15. These are weekly and monthly levels of support where I'm anticipating price might move down to 103.68, 103.40. Now, this is a range of, I keep talking about this, but that's the range of last year. Are we failing at the 62 level for a long-term move down? That's my theory at the moment. All right. That's my outlook at the moment. So day chart's turned to down. We can draw a fib from that high to low. Drop it down the 4-hour chart. Are we coming up? At the moment, we're holding at the 62 level. And what is monthly resistance? All right, doesn't look like for the last 24 hours we can get above that level. So question coming in. And when you tell me you're still waiting, you've got a 1-hour trend line break and retest, looking for a sell there. Yeah, it struggling to go above there. Getting a bit of a range up here at the top. So, you know, just up here would be a great area to look for the price to fail at. You know, these 1-hour tops up to 106.35. If you want to be aggressive, that's, you know, selling up here. You're probably going to meet sellers in the short term, and the market would probably come into there and then sell off a little, and you could probably get the risk out. And then does the market want to play nice and move down? All right, but I would definitely be watching, you know, a spike up. We've got some news coming out later from the US. We might spike up into this area as well. 62 level, the 106.35 level. If it gets really volatile, maybe the job figures tomorrow, we could get up to the 79% level, but, you know, we might fail here over the next 24 hours and be down near the low of the week come the job figures. All right, pound yen, similar-ish to the euro yen, and that is getting support at weekly level. Now you could say that might be an inverted head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay, the dollar yen, we'll get to that later, but the dollar yen may be getting support at a major level. Are the yen crosses getting ready for a move up from weekly support? But, you know, whilst we're bouncing there, the weekly trend is a lower top to lower bottom, but I mean, that could be a head and shoulders. Daily, Still in a downtrend. That looks very much like we're seeing on the euro yen, in that looks like a 62% retracement back to daily resistance. Resistance 62% for a move down. So you just have to look for whatever your setup is at that resistance level to trade down. Or I was just not showing a downtrend yet, but maybe a retest and failure there today at that resistance level. All right, come up to the 62 of the range once more. Couldn't get to the resistance level. That could be a failure there for a movement back down. Watch your setup. You know, through the news later in the day, this may well come back up and give you another opportunity to trade here. But you might be able to get a tight trend line break or something. All right, if there's a bit of background noise, I'm just getting a storm coming to my house. So hopefully my electricity and internet doesn't fail, but you might be able to hear the rain starting to come down. All right, so that's the level to watch there at the moment today on the pound yen 159.72. Could come up before I leave this one again to retest the 160 level. Levels to watch later in the day when the news comes out from the US. Pound dollar. Now, like the euro, this is a range for last year. Are we filling at the 62% level here? As well, it coincides with, if you go left over here on the monthly chart, there's a monthly low at 123.91. So we failed at monthly resistance and weekly resistance. Day chart has turned down. It's a bit consolidatory in here. There has been a 79% retracement pop up in here on the 4-hour chart. And whilst purists would say that a head and shoulders happens at the end of a run or a top or a bottom, I'm not a pure purist. You know, this could be a left shoulder here. All right, this could be a head. Are we forming a right shoulder here? 7M, or it's just a 7% failure pattern here to move down the range. Okay. Earlier in the day, I did post in Telegram that I thought price may falter in that area. In fact, I had my fib drawn here. But either way, whichever high you use, it's the same, almost the same thing. It's a 7% failure. This 7% lines up with that left shoulder kind of area I was just talking about. And I posted in Telegram today this area up here, 7% fib all the way up to what is daily resistance up here in the figure. Now we may get up there again. You know, price may still want to get up for another visit later in the day, or we may have already failed. So if you're not in, you could be watching that level. If you're in, you're hoping it doesn't get up to that level. But obviously early in the day, you know, gave you a trend line break, gave you a swing point break. Just trading the swing point break there, it's moved down, best part of 50 pips. All right, now we head into tomorrow with job figures. I don't know what price will do before then, but yes, we could come up. We might not go too far. We may stay range bound. Through New York here, we're range bound. We may well come back up and visit this level, 121.06 through the job figures. All right, so that's the level to watch. This is the area to watch at the moment, in my mind. New Zealand yen. We know it's range bound. It's still remaining range bound. It's getting support down there. This is the weekly chart look. Monthly chart look, there is a major 79% level of this range in the area that we keep topping out at. Now, long term, I'll be topping out here to move down. In the most immediate term, we're kind of still range bound. Maybe we're fractionally higher top. Are we putting in a fractional higher bottom? Sorry, it's not a fractional higher bottom. It's higher to that one, but there's a bottom there we've broken. So just need to correct myself. That is a higher top, but we have a lower bottom. And overall, You know, the range is from up here, 87, 86, down to weekly support here at 80.57, and I've just got daily, this lows of daily level of support here. So there's a very good area of support here with all these lows. Whether we, you know, if we come back down to this area, certainly watch for that area to possibly hold to move back up. At the moment, this may be doing the same sort of thing that the euro yen's doing and the pound yen's doing. Holding at 62 here, it has got up to resistance from over there. Hasn't quite got up to that level. So is this doing the same thing as the pound yen, euro yen, 62% retracement to move back down? This might be a 79% rally there. Go to your 15-minute chart. All right, there's a 79%. So there's an overlapping fib example where we got the 79% level of the small range overlapping with the bigger range. So if that was to revisit, that would be a good level for another retest and failure for a movement down. You know, 62% retracement of the day trend, which is down. Then now a rally, having failed there yesterday, this could now be failing here to move down. We don't have a trend line break yet. There's your swing points. Current trend line would be here. All right. So what's that area? New Zealand dollar. Bit range bound at the moment. It has managed, though, having possibly put in a double top here, failing at last year's trading range 62%. We are seeing on the day chart now a lower top forming. It is a bit range bound in here, and what you're going to see on the 4-hour is we've had a, you know, this is a kind of a head and shoulders, 79% there. You've got, again, it's not at the top at the end of the run. This is within the middle of a run on the day chart. That left shoulder, little head, little kind of right shoulder area here. All right, head and shoulders patterns can be obviously very clean, but that's just really where my lesson on, you know, liquidity. This is where all the retail buy stops are. They're getting tripped, and the larger traders are just sitting there taking the orders. All right, so that might, you know, that's another, we could get another revisit of that level for sure. But maybe we've failed at that 79% level and we're heading back down. All right, dollar Canadian. I've been talking about this level for quite a while, 135.02. And we've been range bound through Christmas. And we are holding here. So are we now just simply holding within the range? I'll use that low for the range to that high. So trading at the bottom of the range, stop at the 127R, targeting the top of the range or targeting a break of the range. All right. It's range bound, trade like it's in a range, you're at the bottom of the range. So you need to work out, do you want to trade that pair? We do have the job figures coming out tomorrow, so I don't know if that will move back up to top of the range by then you'll be stuck in the trade. So it's probably not the best pair to trade at the moment with the job figures coming out tomorrow, but it's stuck in a range there, so trade it like it's in a range. Support at the moment is pretty much 135.02. All right, dollar yen. Now, just want to have a look at we're obviously failing in a couple of highs here. 1, 2, higher bottom here, higher top. kind of pulled back half of the range at the moment. I just wanted to work out as well where last year's low was. That's the whole range of last year, which isn't telling me anything at the moment. So don't really need that fib on. I just wanted to have a look, see what was going on. All right, so at the moment, on the weekly chart, we have this weekly low here, this range here, which we false breaking the low. So are we creating a double bottom to move back up? Exactly maybe what's happening on, kind of similar movement to what we're seeing on the dollar index. So putting a fib on that low. If it's a double bottom, I like to be in by the 79% level to come up, challenge the top, and then see whether we can break the top. So at the moment, we are positive for the week. Day chart, though, is still in a downtrend. And, if I draw a fib across that area here at the moment, it's a 62% retracement, much like those other yen pairs. So, it would be nice. I don't know if that level's holding or not. It would be nice to see a day chart uptrend form and then a pullback. What I am seeing on the 4-hour chart is that at least the 4-hour trend has turned up. So if you wanted to get aggressive, just keep monitoring these 4-hour ranges. Look for a pullback to the 79% level. That's very close to the level of weekly support and last month's low. So we're false breaking last month's low. That is at 130.56. We're false breaking in the weekly support level. If you were aware, in the Telegram this week, I did say watch for this level to be support or resistance. I said, would the 4-hour trend turn up and it become support? Well, it did. And, we could be wanting to fill this imbalance first of all, and then does a long-term double bottom form longer term. So you have had an opportunity down here to trade when the 4-hour trend turned up. There was actually, don't know if that was quite a 79% retracement. Pretty much a 79% retracement here. All right. Yes, though, your entry would have been underneath support, which isn't ideal. But now you can monitor for another 79% retracement on that 4-hour chart. Will it give you that? For an opportunity to buy at support or close to support on that double bottom to see whether it's going to work for you. Now, if that works, if that holds, it starts to move up. And let's say we do come up and challenge last year's high. There's 2,000 or more pips there. So risking here at the moment from the 79% level, just under there, it's about a 70 pip risk, but it's like a risk reward of, it's like a 1 to 30 risk reward if it goes up to the top. All right, so make your mind up. Do you want to try and trade down there? So the 79% level is at 130.56, okay? All right, let's have a look at gold. Now, Slav, are you on there tonight? You are. I was talking to you about this range that I just left that on over Christmas. Obviously, we're breaking out of the sideways range there. I know you trade gold. So, and you're telling me you're not in gold at the moment. Now, let's just give it a complete breakdown. Monthly trend here is down. Long term, is this going to be in downtrend long term, or have we actually bottomed down here? Of course, gold miners, there's an obvious cost to mine. So, what is the cost? When moving down, do we get that pretty much down to the wholesale price of gold, and then people are starting to come in to buy it? Is it just coming up to put in the lower top? Or are we going to start to come up to challenge this significant high over here at 1920? Are we going to come up and challenge the high of the year later? High of the year last year, later this year. Weekly trend is up. There's another high bottom there to the top. So at the moment, this is in an uptrend in the shorter time frames on the weekly and daily. So the key level at the moment is 1920 for resistance. So at the moment on the day chart, drawing a fib in, there's a bit of a minor low there, which I would probably use. And, you know, this is in an uptrend, but, you know, it is, if I just show you where you would have had the fib drawn maybe from there to there or there to there. We're in the profit taking area of the fib at the moment, so expect a pullback. I would probably, well, that low, that's a significant low. If you use that high, 62% level overlaps with what is weekly resistance from back in time over here somewhere. So that would be a good level to watch. The 1810 level that overlaps with the 62% level. If this can pull back, you know, if this is going to continue up to challenge 1921, it needs to hold above 1800 to 1810. So it's obviously a bit high up there at the moment to be trading the trend. So we're just waiting for a pullback, I think would be the storyline there. All right. All right, any questions, people? It's a little bit slow going at the moment. Let's just drop down to the 15-minute charts and see what's going on. All right, so we keep just hitting into that monthly level of resistance, 90.51. Doesn't want to move above, so that's a clear level of resistance to trade at. Daily resistance at 68.26 here on the Aussie. During the last couple of hours, it's being held there. Maybe it's wanting to hold at last week's high as well. Have we moved above last week's high? Are we now wanting to be below last week's high? Are we failing here? Here again. Not putting a trend line break here yet, or a swing point break. It's obviously getting capped up here at 140-100 at your, this is a monthly level of resistance from back in time, 140-104. This top here, is that where we're topping out? So DSC is set up to sell there. That's a good level. As I said before, we're at the day resistance level. Okay. Euro dollar. Still got a bit of a bid on it. Can it revisit this area? Edwin, you were saying you're looking for a 1 hour trend line break. Okay. Of course, if you're looking for a 1 hour trend line break, I'm not sure how you're drawing your trend line, but I would have mine there. That's a long way away from resistance. I mean, yes, you're waiting for the confirmation, but trading at the top of the range offers you way more risk to reward. And yes, you might be wrong a couple of times, but because the risk reward is greater, it will clean up, you know, some losses over time when you have a loss. All right. And really, this pair on the 1 hour chart is getting a little bit kind of range bound here. So we're coming up to the top of the range. So it not wanting to be able to really, if it can't continue above the top of that range, it could well be, you know, offer an opportunity of failure up there to trade down. All right, pound yen may come up to these levels. offer a failure. It's got a slight bid on it at the moment. Not expecting the market to do much. As I said, we've got that news coming out from the US. Where are we? This item just here. I beg your pardon, let me just correct myself. This item up here. So I've got the ADP non-farm employment change figures coming out 11:15. Okay. So the market's probably waiting for that as well. People are still on holidays, so might not want to do too much before that event comes out in any event. All right, pound dollar. So if you're on the buying side over the next 24 hours, 120 is support, and pretty much up here, 121 is resistance. All right, so with this range bound environment that we're having, you know, that pound at the moment, you could be playing both sides. Trading up from 120, down from 121. That's the kind of broad area where the market's trading at the moment. And what I wanted to say was on this pair, for those that have attended the webinar on imbalances, when we're dealing with markets that are a little bit thin, holiday season, we get these imbalances, they're often in the same trading day, just filled. You know, so that you start to understand how price works in thinly traded markets. That's thinly trading down through there. And then price wants to come back up to the point where it dropped down from. So if you start to be aware of this and you see the trend on the 50-minute chart turn to up, where is it going to go? It's probably coming up to there. All right. We have a bit of an imbalance here, which, you know, the movement down today at the moment, the imbalance is kind of here. We didn't quite fill the whole imbalance, but it filled it at least to the point where it broke above a high there. All right, and so all the imbalances are just getting filled within this kind of sideways price action. So we may still see for another good week this kind of price action where you think, you know, I saw this moving down. I thought, okay, are we setting off for a great trend at the start of the year? And of course, then it moves all the way back up. So we may see a lot of this kind of price action over the next week or two. All right, New Zealand yen starting to fail at that daily chart 62 level, giving you a trend line break there. Just get that back over there. New Zealand dollar. It's nowhere near those higher reaches. Maybe it's already failed there today. Dollar Canadian. It's trading at that level of support. It's not going anywhere. All right, dollar yen's pretty quiet. So pretty quiet going at the moment. If there's a pair that you want me to look at that I will not covering, I can hang around for another 5 or 10 minutes. Just put it in the chat. Happy to look at anything you want to have a look at. Happy to answer any questions you want to ask me as the market's a bit slow and we're just getting into a new trading year. Harash gold, is that silver? I always get confused with the gold and the gold and the silver symbols. XAJ. Silver chart window. All right, silver Don't have a lot of data on the monthly chart, but this looks like it's in a downtrend, lower top, lower bottom. And I don't think I got the right symbol at the moment. Apologies. There we go. That's better. All right, so silver to the US dollar. Monthly chart is in a downtrend here. It looks like a 62% retracement. Weekly trend is up, but that's just corrective of the monthly, from the monthly. Daily, starting to form a downtrend here on the day, so this may be topping out in the 62 to 79% level for a move down. You know, 24-hour chart, start to look, that's the high. All right, not sure what's going on with my fib there. Wasn't drawing exactly. There we go, that's better. All right, so we're down to a lower point on the day chart. That's a low point there. You know, look for a rally back up to the 62 to 79 for a sell if you're trading silver. You know, on that day chart there, to a lower point at the moment. So if it keeps moving down, drag the fib down, look to sell a rally. Look for the first lower top to form. Then your other one was gold. Oh, sorry, you're looking at silver. I've already done gold. Let's have a look at gas. Get that right. You know, I've had a week away and I'm finding it very difficult to use my tools at the moment. I keep pressing the wrong buttons. All right, do you know what the code is for gas? I'm not sure. We've got natural gas on the MT4. There's their indices. Got gas here. Hopefully this is the right one. All right, well, it's in a downtrend, but of course it is. I don't have all the historical data for this, but it is getting of a major range down to close to the 79% retracement. On the weekly, trend is down there. Trend is down there on the daily. So at the moment, it's very much down. It's gap down as well. Just want to check. Haresh, is that the right gas that you've been following? Gas is only $3.91. No, it's not the right one. Or if you know what the code is, I don't know if I can find. I don't know if it's in the MT4 platform, so that may be the issue. That's the only gas I can see. So yeah, I know you keep saying to me it's gas natural, but that's the only gas that's coming up on my list of things in the MT4. Let me open up my MT5. These are all shares. All right, let me see if I can find the code for gas. Got oil. All right. I know the gas that you want is natural gas versus US dollar, but the only one it's giving me is gas. And you're saying it's at the bottom. Or are you saying it's 3919 is correct? So that one up here, this one. Yeah, that looks like the exact same price as the one I was just looking at before. So let's chart that. So that's trading at 391. While I'm waiting for data to come in. Pretty sure that's the same. It's the same one as this one in MT4. Okay. So let's just stick with MT4 because I've got more data. So this gas is definitely coming in on the long term on the major range here in an area where we could get support. But you know, this weekly trend is most clearly down. However, you know, this weekly run that went down this way is at the 127 extension. It's moved down, it's rallied. So this could be a bottoming area coinciding with this area here. But you know, the trends are down, the weekly trend is down there, your day trend is down there. You know, if you're looking to trade to the upside, I don't know what you're looking to do, but there's no higher tops or bottoms there at the moment. So on the day chart trend there, it's quite clearly down. So, you know, looking to sell a rally at the moment still on the day trend being down. This is broken support. So price may come back up to maybe the 5.2 area. That would be an area of broken support becoming resistance. That could be where the next lower top forms if it was to rally back up. Okay, Harash. Anthony, thanks very much for your comments there. All right, I'm just going to drop back to the Eurodollar before we finish. Just looking on my screen on the other side. Now the market is very range bound. If you drop this to a 15-minute chart, now this 15-minute chart here doesn't like it up here. It's not quite getting up to the top of the range. Look at the 15-minute chart and all these highs. In this very range bound environment, this could well be where this is topping out to move back down. Harash, back onto that. You're still asking me about the gas. Well, this isn't a clear downtrend, you know, and this is a long move down at the moment. So this isn't where you want to sell if it's going to continue down. So, you know, if you're just trading the trend that we're seeing, dragging a fib across that range, 62% retracement is around about 5.68, but you've got resistance here at 5.2. So, you know, we could see at some point a movement back up into this area. You're just going to have to follow price and see what it does. So, you know, the weekly trend's down, but it's very much overextended. That day trend is down, that's very much overextended. So I would think at some point we're going to get some form of rally. Is it just a rally to put in another lower top to go down? But of course, when we're talking about commodities like oil, gold, gas, whatever it is, and this is gas, there's obviously a cost to dig it out of the ground. There's obviously a wholesale cost. So how far can it go down before it moves back up? Arash is saying Eurodollar, we can trade from the 62%. Well, the Eurodollar is pretty much there, isn't it? The 62. Up here, I've been discussing that level up there, the 62 level, 106.39. If it gets there, yeah, that's a great level to watch and trade from. But as we're just dropping down to the 50-minute chart before, I don't know if it's going to get there. Just 50-minute chart just doesn't look like it can get there. Didn't even touch it yesterday. See the 62 level? It can only get up to the monthly, there's a monthly resistance level at 106.35. Once since we've touched it, the rallies are getting capped. See the rally, we just rally back up into the same exact area where we're getting capped. And you can see it selling off. So the 62 level, which I've just deleted all my things. I don't know whether we can get there. We might get there when the US news comes out, but at the moment, it's getting capped ahead of there, as you can see. All right, everybody. So it's a bit slow going. Hopefully, once we get past the job figures on Friday, maybe some traders coming back into the market and we start to get a bit busier. But just be aware the environment's a bit slow going at the moment. All I'm trying to do at the moment for myself is, as it's a little bit slow, where are the high levels of support or resistance, where are the high 79% retracement levels that I could look to engage at. All right. Okay, thanks everybody. Give you a heads up of what's coming next week. Next Tuesday. All right, just want to check the dates. All right, there should be, I'm going to have to get this updated. There should be, I don't know why this is the 12th and then the 11th. Let me just refresh this. This is having a bit of a fit. All right, that's right now. So next Tuesday, the 10th, we've got Forex Trading Live Market Analysis. Next Wednesday, position trading using the monthly weekly trading ranges. And then next Thursday, live Forex Market Review. That's what's coming up. Got a full month of webinars coming up. So getting back into the full flow of trading. So if you've got the time, look forward to seeing you. Just come to the webpage and register your interest. Other than that, thanks for attending this evening. All the best to you all for 2023. Happy trading. Hope it's a profitable year for you all. Or it's a let's always have the goal of it's going to be a more profitable year than the year before. All right, have that as a goal. All right, everybody, thanks very much. I'm going to call it a day there. Thanks for attending. Look forward to seeing you next time.